Hello there, today I'm doing a review on the 1/6 Scale Revy Figure by New Line, which was released in 2007 and then was re-released again in 2009 and 11, almost a year after the OVA Roberta's Blood Trail. Now I've been looking for one of these figures for the best part of a year now, and I've finally got my hands on it. They originally sold for 13,800 yen, and after picking up one I had a look on the internet and I could only really find them for around the £250 to £300 mark, so they are a fairly rare and expensive figure now. The figure itself is cold cast and stands at 150mm high, and it's well sculpted with some really nice detailing on the creases on her boots and on her top. I have to say the only real thing that's a bit off-putting is the obvious join line in Revy's hair, although I don't generally view figures from the top and the San Andreas fault line is unnoticeable from her front. Compared to the really nice detailing effect on the side of her boots and the creases as I mentioned before, it just seems they've decided, screw it, that seems close enough on some of the parts which seem to lack quality control. This leaves the paint job on her gloves and fingernails seemingly done by someone trying to blindly paint by numbers, and for some reason her tattoo fades towards the bottom. She comes with a cigarette, 3 magazines and 2 sword cutlasses, one of them being attached to her hand and the other being loose. I have to say I don't really like the finish on the pistols, especially as they've decided to accent the slide in the one in her hand slightly different to the rest of the pistol and also the other one and the magazines. When you look at the promo pics, they look a lot cleaner, and I think I would have preferred them, to be honest. Her ponytail comes as a separate piece which fits seamlessly into her back, and I suppose it stops accidents happening when you're taking her out of the box too, although it does seem to just default back into the down position. It would be nice if you could have it up to the side, again like the promo pic showed. The base has a very solid feel, and if anything were to happen to my figure, I feel like it would make a really nice coaster for my cup of tea. I have to say one of the most frustrating things about the figure is its laces. You seem to need the patience of an absolute saint to position them just right. They attach into the tiny eyelets in her boots, and while the 2 upper ones stay in place nicely, the lower ones have a tendency to want to jump out all over the place, like a lemming wandering mindlessly off of a cliff. Once in place though, they really do look aesthetically pleasing and sort of complete the model, except for the one upper lace on her right foot which just seems to want to defy gravity with its floating kink, like a snake charmer has decided to take control of it. Now it may seem to feel like I've been highly negative about this figure, however I feel like I can look past all of these things, as I've really wanted a Revy figure for absolutely ages and this looks really nice on my shelf. As I said, they are really small imperfections, and if you're taking a quick glance at them you don't really notice everything. Stuff like the sword cutlasses and the magazines, I could just not show them and those little annoyances just wouldn't be there. But it is nice to have them as an optional extra. Would I recommend that someone spend nearly £300 on buying one of these figures? Probably not, as I said before, there are just some small niggles that I have with it, and I definitely got it for a lot cheaper than that.